We just witnessed what might be the most significant power shift in the Jujutsu Kaisen series. Brace yourself because the new chapter is an absolute game changer. Sukuna vs Gojo. Is Gojo dead? Let's get into it. The new chapter sets the stage with our sorcerers engrossed in the duel between Sukuna and Gojo. Basically just like us, they watch the fight on a bunch of TVs and we read the manga. I have noticed that many are confused about the explanations and discussion in this chapter about the dynamics and strategy of the battle between Gojo and Sukuna, so I will try to make it as easy to understand as possible. They note that Sukuna, despite facing the seemingly invincible Gojo, who uses the limitless curse technique, has attacked using domain amplification. This is a significant move, as domain amplification is a technique that neutralizes an opponent's curse technique. In other words, Sukuna is trying to nullify Gojo's limitless power. It's mentioned that the special grade curse spirits use domain amplification against Gojo in Shibuya, indicating that this is a known strategy against Gojo. They should have been prepared for that, so it's a little strange that it worked so well. Maybe we shouldn't trust our eyes. The domain amplification is like a more refined version of a simple domain. By wrapping oneself in a domain that isn't imbued with a curse technique, the opponent's curse technique flows into the empty space, neutralizing it. This is a crucial explanation of how domain amplification works and why it's effective against Gojo. Literally the only thing you can do against someone like him. Angel points out the weakness of domain amplification. It cannot be used simultaneously with one's innate technique. This means Sukuna is fighting without his curse technique, which is a significant handicap, and yet he's so strong. However, it also implies that if Gojo were attacked by something other than domain amplification, he would have already lost. This highlights the strategic nature of the fight and the calculated risks each fighter is taking. They are very careful. It's a bit like they both know they are so strong and fast that they don't actually need to be stronger than the other to defeat him. They have reached a level of strength where every single attack that hits them will likely end the fight, so it doesn't really matter who does the stronger attack. This is why they are so extremely cautious. One wrong move and the fight is over. So the focus is on strategy. How do you get that one single hit? They then discuss why Sukuna doesn't just expand his domain, as it's hard to use a curse technique right after using a domain expansion. They speculate about whether a domain sure hit effect could penetrate Gojo's curse technique. Remember, the concept of a domain's sure hit effect guarantees that any attack within the domain will hit its target. So if they have so much power that it doesn't matter how strong they are, they just need a hit, why don't they use the domain expansion? They then ponder whether Sukuna believes he can win against Gojo in a clash of domains, but Gojo would have already expanded his domain if that were the case. Then Shoso introduces a new possibility. What if the domains wouldn't clash because Sukuna doesn't close the barrier when he expands his domain? This introduces a new layer of complexity to the fight and the strategies involved. The characters are surprised by Shoso's suggestion. Their reactions indicate that the idea of expanding a domain without closing the barrier is a potentially game-changing concept, but they don't really believe it's possible. Kusakabe uses a water bottle to illustrate what it means to expand a domain without closing the barrier. He asks Miwa to toss him the water, but when she throws the whole bottle, he corrects her, saying he wanted the water, not the bottle. When she splashes the water in his face, he uses this as a metaphor for expanding a domain without barrier. Just as the water can't be contained without the bottle, a domain can't be maintained without a barrier. But the discussion takes an unexpected turn when Shoso drops a bombshell. Kamo Noritoshi once expanded his domain without closing a barrier, something thought to be as impossible as capturing water without a vessel, or running software without hardware. This revelation breaks our understanding of domains, suggesting that the impossible might just be possible in Jujutsu Kaisen, if you are Sukuna, the king of all curses. So, Shoso's mention of Kenjaku's accomplishing the feat of expanding a domain without a barrier provides historical context. suggesting that Sukuna's strategy, while unconventional, is indeed possible. The character's discussion of the implication of this strategy further deepens the analysis of the fight. Ino's comment about the energy cost of using domains brings the physical toll of the fight into focus, but Yuda's comparison of his own cursed energy reserves with Sukuna's serves to underscore Sukuna's immense power. This comparison also dismisses the idea that the reason they aren't expanding their domains is due to a lack of cursed energy, adding another layer of intrigue to the strategic consideration of the fight. All this shows that they fight their battle not only physically but mainly strategically in their minds. Next up is the much anticipated moment, the highlight of this chapter, the heart-stopping, adrenaline-pumping face-off of the mains. The scene shifts to the fight itself where both Gojo and Sukuna activate their domain expansions. This is a significant escalation in the battle as domain expansion is a powerful technique that most of the time concludes the fight. The simultaneous activation of their domain expansion signifies the intensity of their clash and the high stakes of the battle. It's now or never. The narrator's explanation that their sure hit commands overlap and cancel each other out within Gojo's barrier provides insight into the mechanics of the fight. This commentary underscores the evenly matched nature of the battle and the balance of power between Gojo and Sukuna, but what follows is jaw-dropping. Sukuna begins to control the domain from within, bending it to his will. The narrator explains that the effective range of Sukuna's domain extends past the shell of Gojo's domain, and that the domain's barrier is weak to attacks from the outside. This provides a crucial insight into Sukuna's strategy. Sukuna's unconventional approach might be giving him an advantage in the fight. And so the scene and with it the chapter and maybe Gojo's life ends with a dramatic turn of events. Gojo's neck is slashed, and the chapter declares that the domain of the strongest has been broken. The fight might be over. There's not much to say about that, it's quite simple. Either Gojo dies and Kenjaku takes over his body and becomes the main villain as I predicted, or Gojo survives. But then there must be a specific reason for it. Remember that the last few chapters have strongly hinted that he may have caused something in the Jujutsu world that could possibly have consequences for the main characters. The reason for Gojo's existence will be revealed in the next chapters. So what do you think? Will Gojo die and Kenjaku will take his power? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, it really helps me a lot. And if you want to see more Jujutsu Kaisen videos, then subscribe to this channel with the notification bell activated. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.